Alright guys, back again for another review. Big Tom.
Damien.
Today we are doing the SAT22 by Satburn.
Yep, SAT22, it's a Genesis atomiser. It's a 22mm atomiser, but with this really cool sort of 16mm reduced chamber made by Satburn, the company Satburn. Now, these are really hard to get hold of at this moment in time. But they've been about for a little while. I've seen pictures posted of them and people telling me how great they are and that, so I wanted to try one. I haven't been able to get hold of one myself yet, but a friend of mine, Paul Lord from Mrs Lord's Juice & Co, kindly sent me one of these to have a go at, to have a vape on it, because I've been getting more and more into my Genesis atomizers lately, especially since I've been vaping like that Lime Sparkle from
Fair City Vapes.
Yeah, that's right. It's really nice in a Genesis atomiser. Now, even though people go, oh, rocking horse shit, you can't get it yet, but Satburn is currently in the process of doing his own website, so hopefully soon, very soon, these will be available to buy. They retail at the moment for around £120 delivered, yeah, it's not a bad price for what it is. It's a really cool, nice Genesis atomiser, and it's really sort of easy to set up as well. It does come with a stainless steel tank and a glass tank. With the glass tank in, it holds about 2.5ml of juice. But with the stainless steel tank in it, it holds about 3ml of juice, so it's not too bad. It looks like it doesn't hold a lot of juice up close, but in fact it's quite surprising how much it does. It's got 2 air holes in it. Basically, I think they're about 0.8 of a mil, the air holes. They've got 2 air holes in this reduced chamber part here, which is quite nice. They're slightly indented inside the chamber, so the holes are closer to your mesh, which is really cool.
When the original did come out first, I know you could choose how you could have your holes, or how big you could have your holes, so they are obviously vertical. You could have them either side together, or you could have more than holes or wider holes, so that was a good feature.
Yeah, it's made of 304 stainless steel, and it's a weird looking thing. It's really quite nice. It looks like sort of like a little square headed guy with a top hat on. You know, it's really cool. It doesn't come with this drip tip. It does come with a drip tip, but I've got a brass drip tip on the top here to sort of complement the black Heimdall or Heimdall or Kindle, as Tom calls it, and I think it suits it quite nice. It does have an adjustable 510, a brass adjustable 510 pin, and yeah, it is really nice. I mean, it does kind of stick up, it does kind of follow the hype. It does live up to the hype that it had. You know, I've seen loads of people really praising them and really loving them, and I've seen pictures on the forums and things like that, and all that sort of stuff going on, and I really wanted to try one, like I said, because I'm sort of getting into Genesis again, and yeah, it does live up to the hype. 125 quid, bit of money there, but for your high-end atomisers, it's around that same ballpark as your 3.1 ESs, your Roses, your Rockets, your Doodlebugs, so it stays in the same manner. But like I said, at the moment, very hard to get hold of. I think the original list was on the Vape Pit. We aren't members of Vape Pit, so we couldn't get one. But yeah, I know that Andreas, who is the maker of the Satburn 22, the SAT22 and the Sat Mini Mod, is preparing his website now. So hopefully these will be more available to everybody quite soon, which is a great thing.
Of course it is. Being able to get hold of it, which is a bonus. I do like it, as Damien saying. Fair City Vapes, Lime Sparkle takes the bomb in it, so kind of like custard juices in Genesis ruin it, so you don't get as much flavour as you would with this kind of juice. So the Genesis is recommended with like a fruity flavour.
For me, I find Genesis a lot better with the fruity flavours and tobacco flavours. You know, your custards and things like that I kind of find better in a silica. Maybe it's because they're thicker and they gunk up a little bit more, you know, but for me, like sort of like the fruit flavours in a Genesis atomiser, I've really started getting into again. You know, I'm on the lookout for a Rocket and Doodlebug and things like that to try out. So if anyone out there knows, because they're fucking hard to get hold of, I'm on the lookout. So yeah, what we'll do now is we'll go down to the table. I'll let you have a little look around it, show you the reduced chamber, show you all the bits and pieces, and then we'll come back and give you our final thoughts. Shave.
Okay, so here you have the SAT22 by Satburn, this 22mm Genesis atomiser. It's 22mm from the tank and these sections here, and then this top section is indented at 16mm and for your drip tip at the top. We have 2 air holes in this top cap section, they are 0.8mm each. Underneath the top section here, you'll see you have your centre post with a brass nut for your positive and a stainless steel screw for your negative there. And either side of the negative, you'll see you have 2 wick holes, 2 different sizes there depending on what size mesh you want to use. You have one at 2.4mm and one at 2mm there, so that is very nice. At the bottom here we have a brass adjustable 510 pin. It's made of 304 stainless steel and comes in a really nice brushed finish. Now to take it apart to clean it, you just remove the top nut there from the positive post, unscrew the top section which is threaded down onto the centre post like so. You have a glass tank, so basically you can put whatever juice you like in it. It also comes with a stainless steel tank, and yeah, that's pretty simple. So let's get this back together and give this a wick. Let me just screw back on my top cap section, my brass post like so. Now I've basically just got myself a bit of 400 stainless steel mesh there, and I've put 4 wraps of 0.28 gauge canthal wire. I'm going to thread it down into the biggest wick hole like so. Simply attach underneath for my negative post. Let's get that nice and tight. It's a flathead screw there, so that makes it quite nice and simple. Plenty of room. And I'm just going to stick that around the centre post like so. Catch it down with the grub screw. If I can. A little bit fiddly. Like so. What I'll do is I'll put it onto the mod. I'll just give it a little pulse, excuse me, and just check everything's lighting up. I've got a bit of a hot spot at the top there, so a slight bit of adjustment. Once again, just slight adjustments until you get them all lighting up nice and even, like so. Still a little bit hot on the second one. There we go. Happy with them. Now to give it a feel, basically just take your needle and put it in the hole that you are not using and just simply fill the tank. Like so. I like to put a tiny little bit of juice as well on the mesh and the coil. Now inside this top cap chamber you can see there where it's kind of reduced as well to allow your mesh and the indented air holes which sit nice and close to the mesh itself as well, so you don't get too much of a tight draw. It's really quite nice. Put that down, just put in a drip tip at the top. Now the SAT22 does come with its own drip tip, and you may find some don't completely fit in there, but let's give this a little taste now. It's really nice. I find the sat burn quite forgiving as well when wicking. It's quite easy, as you saw there. It doesn't take too much piss farting about. It just gets straight into it and wicks really nice. And yeah, it's a lovely looking device. Really vapes nice and wicks really fast as well. Great flavour, great vapour production. Lovely.
Alright guys, after looking at the SAT22 up close, or the Satburn 22 up close, it is a deceiving little bastard. It is a great vape, and it does create some great flavour and some great vape. I give hats off to this. I do really like this personally. This was originally shown to me personally by Lee Adler from who Eda Mods, who makes the Rose V2, and I absolutely loved it. And David's got it now, and it's a fucking beautiful atomiser.
Yeah, I like the look of it. It's not the norm. Do you know what I mean? It's a really sort of interesting design. It looks great, and I love the reduced chamber on it, so that vapour's nice and thick. You know, nice, quite nice and easy to set up. You know, a few minutes there, just tweaking your coils like you would. Yeah, and it's a lovely vape, and it wicks really fast as well, you know, probably because of that reduced chamber in it. It's not too tight for the draw, even with those two little air holes there, so you get a nice sort of draw out of it. It's not too tight, and that what you might find with some of those other Genesis atomizers like your Hellfires and things like that. And you know, you're not going to have to go at this, I don't think a majority of you are not going to have to go at this with a drill or anything like that and fuck it up, because that's the last thing you want to do to a high-end atomizer. So yeah, I mean, I love the look of it. I think it's really different. It's really sort of cool looking, and yeah, it suits a lot of 22mm mods. You know, you also get a nice hybrid connector with the Satburn for a 20/1 threading as well. So if you have your your PAPs or your JM22s or anything with a 20/1 threading, like your Caravellas and stuff like that, this will hybrid straight onto them, which is also a really nice little thing. You know, and that comes with the atomizer itself. Yeah, you get a stainless steel tank with it. You get a cool little drip tip. This one, because I've borrowed it, didn't come with the stainless steel or the drip tip. But I mean, I wasn't really sort of planning to review it. I was just checking it out to vape it myself and all that. And then I thought it's so nice. Let's give the people a little look at it. Do you know what I mean? I do know that the website is currently under construction, so they will be available. Yeah. Not 100% sure on the price on the website, whether it will be cheaper or more expensive. But they did go on the pit for about 125 quid if I'm right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a great looking Genesis atomizer. Obviously, if you're not into your Genesis, you ain't gonna like it. You know, but if you are into your Genesis, this is a very, very, very nice and really good flavour. And yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, me too, personally. It's kind of like, it's a start, to say it's quite expensive, it's quite high end, it is easy enough for a beginner. Not like something of a different calibre. I can't think of something at the minute that would be a hard Genesis, but it's easy enough. It's a beginner who can use this. So
yeah, I mean, you have your post obviously with your positive, and you have your negative down there on the bottom. It's very simple, and you know, depending on what your setup's going to be, it works pretty much almost immediately as well. You know, I've had a lot of trouble with some lower end Genesis atomizers in the past when I first started vaping, like the Argotite and all that. Yeah. For me personally, and it was a bugger to mess with the hotspots all the time. They just kept moving, and that it wasn't great. And this is pretty much off you go. You know, a few slight movements on your mesh, and away you go. And you know, it's a really nice vape, and it wicked almost immediately, and you get a great flavour out of it. And like I said, I really do like the look of it, and it's really cool and great that it comes with that hybrid connector for your 20/1. So you get a couple of bits for your buck as well. Yeah. You know, it's really good. Scores.
For looks, me personally, it's a little bit weird. So I'm like 8 or 9.
I like the look of it, I really do. Like I said, it kind of looks like a guy with a top hat on. I don't know, that's just me being a little bit weird. But I do like things that don't look like everything else, you know. It does have that little bit of individuality and a little bit of character to it. You know, yes, at the moment these are rocking horse shit and they are unicorns for a lot of people, but like I said, Satburn himself is now doing his own website, so hopefully in the forthcoming weeks or possibly the next couple of months, they're going to be available for everybody, for all of us, you know. And I personally hopefully will be getting one myself. Like I said, this isn't mine, but I really do like it. You know, starting to get a lot more into Genesis atomizers, so yeah, this is definitely one for me. Yeah, for looks, I'm going to give it a 9 because of how quirky it is, and like I said, it doesn't look like every other Genesis atomizer. You know what a SAT22 is just by looking at it, just by a picture of it. You know exactly what that is. It doesn't stick to the norm. For vape, if you get it right, it's a Genesis atomizer if you have the patience, but like I said, it's pretty cool, off you go. It's a great vape on those fruity flavours, yeah. You know, on those fruity or tobacco flavours. Like I said, your custards and things like that in a Genesis atomizer, for me, doesn't have the same sort of flavour as you get out of a silica atomizer. Silica, for me, is a lot better with your custards or your thicker sort of more dessert e-liquid. But for your fruity flavours or your tobacco, it's really nice. Yeah, it's not too tight a draw. It's not overly airy. I like an airy draw. You know, I am quite comfortable at a 2mm draw, and this is just underneath that, obviously. But the fact that the air holes are quite indented close to your mesh gives it a really nice sort of draw on it, a really nice pull, so it's not like sucking a golf ball for a garden hose. Yeah. You know, it's really nice. So I'm going to give it basically an 8 or a 9 out of 10 for vape, you know. But that is, once again, only if you like Genesis atomizers. Yeah. If you're not a Jenny fan, you're not going to like this, no matter how hard it is to get or how pretty it looks or unique it looks. You know, if you're a silica guy, that's where you should stay. But, you know, and I wouldn't go and fork out the 120 quid if you're not too sure. I'd start with something lower end.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Check if you like it and if it suits your taste and if it suits your patience, because the Genesis can be a bit of a fucker to get going if you don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah, me personally, I'd say go for it. But Damien's saying it is hard to get. But if you are really wanting it, there is ways to get it, and you know what I mean, not everything's hard enough to get. Yeah, it is a bit of a unicorn at the minute.
Yeah, I haven't got one yet, so it's quite fucking hard to get.
But as I say, it should be coming out to general public, and everybody should be able to get their hands on it.
Yeah, and that's when I'll be jumping on the old F5 war. Hey, that's part of the fun, isn't it? Waking up at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning, do you know what I mean? Because the website's gone live and you have like 4 minutes to get it. You know, it just becomes the hunt. The hunt is on, and I do enjoy a good hunt. No,
just like a Danny.
Intended.
Just like a Danny.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the SAT 22, 22mm atomiser, 304 stainless steel. It does have twin air holes in the top as well, so you can dual coil this. I think they have different size air holes in the wick holes in the top as well. Yeah, it's got twin air holes on the side on the reduced chamber. Comes with a glass tank, adjustable 510 brass connection. You do get a steel tank with it when you buy it, and you also get a drip tip with it as well. Yeah, not a bad little bloody atomiser at all, and for a Jenny it was really quite nice and quite easy for me to do personally. So yeah, there it is, the SAT 22. Thank you very much for watching this review, and we will see you on the next one. Stay safe.